All right, guys, day 3. Back at it again when I'm 30. Again, here's my page, e-learning as always. Scroll down, this will be day 20, which will be June 1st, which is that Monday. All right, that's where you're going to find, that's where you have found this video. All right, to give you instructions, but after you've watched this, you go back to day 18. That's where you find the When I'm 30's budget spreadsheet. You again click on it right here. Once you have done that, you're going to get this. All right, once you've gone back in here and you've clicked on My Document, you're going to get this. We've done lots of stuff already. We've planned out our family, kind of our career, what the training is going to look like, debt that's going to cost. We found your car, figure out what that's going to cost. We found your house, where you're going to live. All right. Today, we're going to look at some other things because there's more expenses than that. Dum, dum, dum. I know it sucks, but that's just the way life works, all right? And so, how we're going to start off today is looking at necessities, things that we need to spend money on, okay? And the first thing in there, and actually, let me first, before I go any further, I want to address something. Um, if there's any parents that are helping out, I know this is going to seem a little bit ridiculous because it is a little bit. We're trying to get a point across here and try to take a look at things, what kind of trade-offs we can have, what kind of options there are, things that we can do to set ourselves up for success in the future. And so this is going to be little bit unrealistic, but also it's kind of shows some reality to things. And so that being said, bear with us. Again, we're just trying to get a point across here and try to open eyes and get people, get the students to prepare and realize what's coming forth and how to get better set up for success. All right. And so, all right, back to necessities. The first thing we're looking at is healthcare. And of course, most Americans receive healthcare benefits through work. Uh, Sometimes they get that fully covered. Sometimes it's not covered hardly at all, or even at all, period. So we're looking at averages, okay? And so know that for all of these things that we're going to look at today are averages. And I realize there's a lot of variables, but we don't have time to look at everybody's individual variables that could potentially happen when they're 30 years old, okay? So we're doing averages. So just bear with me. This may be yours. This might be better than yours. This might be worse than yours, okay, when you're 30 years old, but these are averages, okay? So anyway, the average monthly cost of healthcare is $598 for single coverage and $1,347 for family coverage. What's the difference? Single coverage is just you. If you don't have a family, if it's just you, you're single, no kids, that's yours. Again, we have things that we couldn't change up here. I'm married with 2 kids, third on the way. And so I have to get family coverage. And that family coverage is whether it's just you and a spouse with no kids or you and a spouse and all 4 kids, all right? And so whatever that is, if you were single, no kids, you just put 598 right there. Okay? I'm not. And so I have to put 1347 right there, which is the amount for family coverage. Okay? So 1347 is what I put. You can put 598 if it's just you. Second, and again, you can't change ages. You can't change how many kids you have, okay? But childcare, if either A, both you and your spouse will work, or B, you will have a child in single parent household, you will need to provide childcare during work hours. The national average for full-time childcare is $1,225 per child per month. Yikes. Okay, I can speak from firsthand experience here. This sucks. Okay. Luckily for me, I have basically all of my family and basically all of my wife's family that lives in town. And so we've had a lot of help, but we still have to pay childcare. This is detrimental to us. Okay. This is one of the most absurd things that we have to pay, but we have to do it because we both work, right? And so we have to look at how many children we have under the age of 6. And so I go back up to mine here quick, okay? How many kids do I have under the age of 6? 2. Will be 3. All right. And so I go down. How many kids do I have under the age of 6 right now? 2 of them. Okay? And so you'll notice right away that's my monthly payment for childcare. Okay? Again, Circumstances are different for everybody. I don't think I pay that much, but I pay a pretty substantial amount. And that's because I have parents. Some people pay more than that. Okay. This also is going to really factor into when you are choosing a career. For instance, my wife, she took a job that she was working a job for a number of years, and after we had kids, she changed her job. Part of it is because we didn't want to have to pay more childcare. Right now, my wife and I, we've been having conversations actually for months now. We've been having conversations. Um, how do we afford to have her stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom for a few years at least? Primarily because we don't want to have to pay this. Okay. Um, so this is huge. Put in how many children you have under six, because after that, guess where they're at? School. All right. But they have to be someplace during the day while you're working. The next thing we have is groceries, okay? And groceries, that's going to be more than just food. That's going to be toiletries, shampoo, conditioner, soap, that sort of thing, okay? So it's more than just food. And again, some people eat more, some people eat less. Some people eat the organic stuff, which is going to cost more. Some of people are going to eat more unhealthy things, which are typically cheaper, okay? The average, that's what we're using as average. Average family spend $300 per person each month on groceries. Okay. And so for me, that's me, my wife, my two kids. Now, granted, I know my two kids don't eat much, but we're using averages. And so I have four people. That's another expense. Clothing. Okay. The average adult will spend $86 per month on clothing. Okay. I know for me, I do not. I like my free t-shirts, things like that. And so I'll use those all the time. I have still wear, just the other day, I was wearing my indoor soccer shirt from high school. Okay. I don't get rid of things. Some of you spend more than 86 bucks every weekend, okay, on clothing. And so we can adjust this the way that we see fit, okay? But for an adult, that's what we're looking for, however many adult members we have. So for me, it's two. And then average, I'm going to lower mine a little bit because my wife and I, we don't spend very much. And that doesn't mean you have to spend this much every month, but on average, like say we go on a shopping spree every other month and we spend $100 every other month, okay? And so that'd be $50 per month, okay? Just as an example. And then also children. Children grow quick, so we have to get them new clothes, okay? New shoes, new pants, lots of different things. Swimsuits now is what we have to get for my kids for the summer. Okay, and so how many children do you have in your family? The average is $72 per month. This one do not change, but I have two children, so that's going to be another expense. And here's my necessities for the month. Okay, that's a lot of money. Okay, and again, that's going to be groceries, that's going to be childcare, and that's going to be my insurance. Okay, that's the primary expenses here. And again, I know this is really, really high, but know that a lot of these things are expensive. All right, but on top of that, you do want to have some fun, right? And you want to be able to do other things. And so one thing that we have as luxuries is a cell phone. I don't know how many of you guys couldn't live without a cell phone every month. So we have cell phones. For me and my household, my wife and I both have a cell phone. So we need at least two. For those of you who have a kid who's 10 years old, maybe you're thinking about getting them a cell phone. Okay. If that's the case, you'd put three there. Right. But for me, it's just my wife and I. Okay. The other thing, some entertainment things, right? If you're going to have cable TV, if you want to watch ESPN, if you want to do a lot of different things, you need cable. I don't have cable. I prefer to stream things. Okay. If you want to have internet, though, if you want to have access to the internet, you need to purchase that. So if you're going to have internet, put a one there. If you want to watch, if you want to just stream things, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, things like that, um, you'll need to purchase that as well. And I'll tell you what, you cannot have Netflix without the internet. So if you're going to have Netflix, you also have to better have the internet on there. Okay. Again, be realistic with this. If you plan on having it, just put it. Be honest. We want to see where your life's going to be at. Okay. Beyond that, we also like to go and do things. Okay. Movies. Some of you like to go to movies a lot. The average cost of a movie without concessions is $9 at a theater. Okay. My wife and I, we don't go to theater movies really ever. Maybe a couple times a year. but that's about it. So I'm going to do how many people are going per month. Okay, and I'm just going to say 0.5. And what that means is my wife and I go to a movie every 2 months. Okay, which I think might be a little bit high, but you kind of get the picture, all right? Eating out, how often you're going to go out? Sometimes it's McDonald's, sometimes it's sit down in a fancy restaurant, all right? And so the average cost per person is $17. Okay. That being said, sometimes you have to go out to eat while you're doing some sporting activities, things like that. So sometimes it's just necessity to go out and eat, or at least more practical. All right. And so, how many people are going to go out every month and get a meal? And how many times? And so, right now, we don't take my daughters out to eat. It's just too much of a hassle. So typically, we'll bring them over to my parents or my wife's parents, and then we'll go out to eat 2 to 3 times a month. And so maybe I'll just say, we'll say 2 times a month. So two people, 2 times a month. That's 4 times. That's four, right? Um, and finally, entertainment. That'd be like a sporting event, a concert, things like that. Average $68 per person. My wife and I maybe would go to one a year. And so again, what I'll do is I'll maybe put down 0.25, and that's overkill. I know that it is, but just to give you an idea, if you want to go to a concert every month, great. If you want to go to see, have season tickets for uh, um, the Vikings or something like that, you would do say 4 or 2 a week, 2 a month, maybe times however many's going, you and your spouse or whatever. Okay, and so it's how many people are going times how many times a month. Okay, per month, and that's going to get your totals. And notice the difference: 335 as opposed to 5,241 per month. So luxuries versus necessities. All right. And from there, we're going to take a look at our next step next time. But there you go. That's your necessities and that's your luxuries. All right. Have a great day, guys.